Welcome back to United States. Russell, good to see you. Heleen's joining us today, and she's got some interesting topics to discuss with us. But we're first going to start with our meditation. It's just a silent meditation, Heleen. I'll just take us into it and just to chill us out a bit. Okay. So just take a couple of deep breaths. And just allow yourself to relax. And just on every out breath, just allow your body to relax a little bit more. Slowly bring yourself out of the meditation. Heleen. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome, Russell.
Clean water.
Water, that's your thing. Water. I am all right. One of your things.
Yeah, one of my things, the water body.
So tell me something about do you meditate regularly or anything like that, or some kind of spiritual practice?
Sometimes I have like a morning routine that's in place that's got meditation part of it. Other times the morning routine slides a bit, especially if we're traveling.
Yeah.
But the meditation, even if it means me grabbing a broom, and for my meditation, the meditation
You're just
happens.
sweeping if you have to in the
Yeah, and
moment.
if it gets one of those days, then I meditate just small parts. It's got a average part of my life. I bring in a lot.
But you're aware of it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because most
Look,
people
there are
aren't.
unaware ones where I catch myself, wow, that was like a meditative state. But I choose activities that I know, okay, I can go in. My children also leaves me alone if I work, So if I've got the broom, got a better chance of getting through it than sitting somewhere,
Yeah, but like every moment can be a sense of a meditation in your life.
Yeah. We should strive to live meditatively.
Yeah, 100%.
It's kind of our life gets in the way of that.
The busyness of life, etc.
Absolutely. Our survival, if we can change how we survive, we'll probably be able to be in a meditative state again, mostly.
Or change that kind of need to strive all the time for more and more and more.
Yeah,
Instead
I don't know.
of being
the
at
people I
peace.
work with at the moment doesn't strive much. They thrive, but they work hard to survive. If we were to live in an environment where you get up and your food is available, and you get to stretch, and you get to say hi to the neighbor, and you get to decide, today I'm spending with my children, maybe tomorrow I'll create, and can you imagine that life?
That's a different thing.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, I don't know what that
That's
is.
the one I'm working on.
Yeah, I guess it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone.
I wonder.
I don't know. Is it? Could it be? It could be. Couldn't be. I don't know.
Yeah,
Some people can't go into that space. I mean, personally, I enjoy being productive. There can be days where I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
But if I'm busy, if I'm working, I'm quite content to work.
Yeah,
in a sense.
creation is meditation at its highest.
So it's like I think there's a balance. It's like you can have your chill days where you maybe got a few days off and except I'm chilling and I'm doing this, and then other days there's work to be done, but you're happy to do that as well without resisting it.
I feel when you're really in the zone working, you are meditating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, you're in that
It's
space.
in that space, being in that space.
Without thinking about
For me,
stuff, you're
that is
busy
meditation.
operating. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Creation is very much part of it.
It's part of it, 100%. It's not just about kind of sitting in a cave and vegging.
No. That's also, I suppose.
That's
got
maybe
its
also
place.
part of life. There's a place for that as well. But
that's also not what I
But it's not for
envision
everyone.
that to
The
be.
intention beyond it, maybe.
intention behind it.
Yeah. And the ability to connect, to stay connected. I think that's actually it, isn't it? Meditation, we do it because we want to just connect again with ourselves.
With ourselves, basically.
it.
Yeah, bring ourselves back
That's
to
it.
ourselves within.
It's not just the action to do that for us.
Yeah, keep us in a kind of a focused, grounded space.
Yeah, in alignment,
Yeah. So tell us, Heleen, you're a fruitarian. What is that?
Hardcore.
I must qualify. I love saying I'm a fruitarian because
I mean, I like fruit.
yeah, it's easy to say when people go like, yeah, I'm a fruitarian because then I'm sorted. I know there's fruits and I'm sorted. We do have veggies. We split out.
Are you allowed to have
Thursdays.
veggies?
Yeah, we're allowed to have anything.
Tomatoes are fruit.
Tomatoes are
Yes,
fruits, avos are
yes,
fruits.
yeah, no. If
And there's
you
good
go
proteins
into
there.
the variety of fruits, oh my gosh, it's a feast. It's a feast because you change. Before fruits was this extra little thing that if you have money, you'll also get some fruits, or maybe it's a dessert.
That's true, because it can be pricey as well.
It is.
Yeah.
It is the most expensive diet
Is
I've
the
been on
fruit.
with my family. Is fruit, which is partly why we want to change the way we access fruits. And so it's very expensive. But now if you move to, this is my food, and you're surrounded by these beauties all the time. And, it becomes...
In the sense of growing them.
I've never felt denied.
But that's in the sense of growing them,
yeah.
you're saying, basically. If you've got them around you.
Well, no, I go buy them and I wash them and they're all around on my tables
just
and it's bouquets.
Available in that sense.
Do you cook or preserve, or is it just...
Preferably not, which is not part of the thing. If the shop closed, what do you do? It's a very precarious place to be in if you look at what potential futures look like. So, and at the same time, it's the most sustainable way for humans to have access to food. You can feed tens of thousands of humans on a hectare of fruit forest versus 25 on a hectare of meat forest, where you grow meat.
Yeah.
You can't compare the two.
Yeah.
So we should have very readily access to fruit. It's very easy actually to have it. But we have designed a life where fruit just doesn't play a big role.
No. And besides the availability of fruit, so for instance, you'll eat avos and stuff, that's more proteins, and you'll have a bit of veggies. And would it be considered a vegan diet?
I would say raw vegan is possibly the closest you can.
Would that be what it is?
Yeah, because the cooked food is quite a problem, in our health space. It's very naturalized, we're very used to doing it. And we crave
it's part of our culture.
Yes,
it's part of who we are.
Tens of thousands of years.
Yeah.
But I think there's two unsung culprits in what is killing us. There's a lot of ones that we're very well aware of, like heavy metals and sugar and all of that. But there's two unsung culprits that people don't mention, and that's cooking food, and the other one is grains. Even healthy grains, they're not for us, they're for the birds.
And what is wrong with cooking foods?
You change the constitution, you acidify the food. You're taking simple, structured food that should digest very easily with their natural enzymes attached that makes the digestion even more complete. You now put it in many times complex structures because you add a lot of things together. So now you're actually creating a complex structure that has lost most of its natural enzymes and nutrition, especially water-soluble nutrition, your vitamins and that. So now you bring that into your body, it's way inferior to what it would have been in its raw form.
Like a tomato, for instance. Tomatoes go acid when you cook them. That's an example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomatoes is a funny one, the healthy part of tomato is the flesh. So you kind of have to get rid of the skin and the pips if you really want a healthy
I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
Wait, it's the flesh.
Yeah, it's the flesh that's the healthy part.
And to skin a tomato is not so easy, I guess.
Yes, and most of the lectins on the skin again, because that's now a nightshade family, right? So all your peppers, potatoes, tomatoes, your nightshade family has got that lectin element that you can't really ignore. Some people...
What is lectin? Sorry, not everyone knows what that is.
I'm not going to go into the science breakdown of it, but it's basically
it's
an irritant to our body.
To our system.
Almost like lactose.
Okay.
Some people are lactose intolerant, others are not. But actually, we all lactose intolerant. Some just handle it better.
Just more so than others. Yeah.
The same with nightshades.
Okay.
There's that element that's actually damaging to all of us. But if you have a strong body, it's minuscule.
Okay.
If you are, if you have
More
trouble in
sensitive or whatever the
that
case.
department, you'll feel it, yeah.
And the grain side of things?
So this brings us to the acid and alkaline side of things. So if you look at our existence, we understand it in physics and chemistry, right? So that's easy. There's two sides. There's physics and there's chemistry. So if we go to the chemistry side of things, it's again quite simple. There's two sides, and there's two sides only. There's acids and alkaline. So luckily we don't have to now play with, it's just those two. Okay, you get neutral ones, but that's, acids and alkaline.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you start understanding the prominence of this, if you look at a healthy ecological system, you've got about an 80-20 balance, 80 alkaline, 20 acidic. When it goes more acidic, it starts burning, it starts heating up, it starts being less conducive for life. You'll get less life forms. For instance, let's not go into examples. Now, if you bring that to the human body, that's the same thing. Homeostasis is an 80-20. We love our acids. We can't cut them out. We'll die. We won't be able to
It's part of our makeup.
We need phosphorus to build bones, and that's acidic. We need manganese, and that's acidic, So we can't cut it out, but it can't be dominant. So now, after learning lots about the body, I understand now that there is the acid and alkalinity that comes into the body affect what digestive system even works. If you bring complex protein into your body will have to use acids to break it down. If you bring simple carbs like fruits and veg into the body doesn't need acids to break it down.
Yeah, it's because it's simpler, so it's less dense, etc. as well.
Yes, and it's the enzymes in your mouth, which is alkaline, that breaks down the simple structure food.
Okay.
So now you've got these two different systems. If you start mixing up your food, and this is probably the most important thing that I try to drop with everyone if they connect with me, you don't have to now jump into fruits to completely heal. The first step in that direction is food combining because of the acid and alkalinity thing. So if you were to take an African plate of, braai vleis, maybe potatoes or pap, your salad and your veg, if you take that standard bowl, instead of eating it all together, you eat all your carbohydrates together. So you eat your salad and your veggies and your potatoes or your pap. You enjoy all of that.
And that works together.
All of that are now digested and become nutrients, except the toxic parts, whichever was in there. And then you take a bit of a break, half an hour, 40 minutes, and then you have your meat.
Have the meat separate,
now,
the
all
protein.
of this is well digested.
Yeah.
And everything goes into the system. While if you have them together, the carbohydrate, the enzymes that digest the carbohydrates actually become nullified by the acids that digest the protein.
So it doesn't digest properly,
this
basically.
Doesn't digest anymore.
Yeah.
So now this starts fermenting and goes into another system of fermentation, which feeds the fungi.
Yeah.
If that copious amounts of stuff start fermenting, it's excessive. Now it feeds the fungi. The fungi eats it, and the waste product is alcohol and sugar. So that's the last thing you want. There was one guy that drove to get something at Build It, and he got locked up in America for drunk driving, and he hasn't touched alcohol for over 20 years.
Well, because of this process
He had oats in the morning, and then he had watermelon on top of the oats. And it completely...
I've heard of that.
Well, I can't eat watermelon with anything else. It just repeats on me, and it's terrible.
You shouldn't at all.
Yeah.
Because the watermelon are such a simple structure.
So it actually
digests like this.
But he wasn't drunk.
He wasn't.
But it made
well,
it, or maybe he was a little bit. It was fermenting.
I always tease and say, actually,
there must have been something in him.
Yeah. We're all alcoholics, actually, because we eat in such a way that we constantly have alcohol in our system.
That is crazy. But now, but you know what the problem is, that it's so put into our way of living, and we've learned it from our grandparents, and they learned it from their parents, and what.
Yeah.
That's how you eat.
Yeah.
And you mix everything up, and this tastes good, and that complements this, and that complements that.
With all this stuff.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I mean, how do you change that? Only by kind of education.
Yeah, bite by bite. It really is education. I mean, I remember the first time I decided not to have meat in our family. It was a long decision. It took us over a year to actually make the decision. And 3-4 weeks in, I was dying in the kitchen. I didn't know how to make the food okay, because my star is gone, And I went to have my hair done. I did dreadlocks at that stage, and his girlfriend would pop into the kitchen and comes out. They're now very good friends of mine. Would pop out with this. I'm like, oh no, I don't eat meat. Oh, don't worry, this is nothing. This is all guilt-free. By the second time she pops into the kitchen, I was behind her. I was like, please.
So she knew what she was doing.
And she just gave me a few tips, you know. So it is literally, you kind of reconfiguring yourself, which is very exciting. It's tough, it's challenging, but it's exciting, you know. And
You
then,
see, I just want to say, I mean, I've never been a vegan or anything like that, but I was a vegetarian for about 4 or 5 years. And I was quite happy. It was fine. And maybe I call vegetarian, but it probably had a little bit of fish on the side, you know, that kind of thing. But then I started exercising. At the time I started doing martial arts. And it was such intense training that I craved meat. You know, so what happens in a situation like that? I mean, you're doing what your body, you do what your body tells you, you do what you don't do what your body is asking. I don't know.
so
What would you say? I mean, is there a way?
Yeah, when you start understanding the chemistry of food, you now understand why you feel better when you eat meat. And then you decide, is that a good enough, do I want to use that method to feel better? Because it is a good method to feel better. The reason being, most of the meats, and I would say even your game meat, I would say up to 80% of it contains a lot of adrenaline. The only way it doesn't contain adrenaline if the animal doesn't know it died.
Yeah.
That's the only time it doesn't. So you get good shots like that, but they're not that often.
Not all the time.
So even the people eating game are sitting with a lot of chemistry in that meat, regardless now of human-made chemistry that's been put in most other meat. I'm not even going there.
No.
That is just like a
it's another
lethal
story,
bomb. Yeah, it's got
for sure.
cancer, it's got, you know, so we're not talking about mainstream meat. Let's talk about the healthiest version of meat, you know, like really organically grown meat, loved meat, you know, like really we tried our best here. Even in that case, I would say 80% have adrenaline in it. So that's the first thing. So this is like a kick for your adrenals.
So eating adrenaline
Kicks the adrenal. Well,
within your body.
Not just kicks the adrenals, it actually damages the adrenals because it provides the hormones to the body that the adrenals would have provided, but in excess. So now the whole body needs to respond and bring this in homeostasis. This is what your body does.
Okay.
It brings things in homeostasis.
But you just know, obviously, most people aren't aware of it.
No.
Let's be honest.
No.
I mean, who's aware of it?
We don't know our bodies.
You're eating and you don't.
Yeah, no.
You know, you just eat because you're eating.
This is why I'm missioning with my knowledge, because I feel if people can just start making informative decisions, because nothing is good or bad. You're sovereign. You know, if you want to eat meat, go for it.
No, there's no problem.
Absolutely
but
sovereign.
it's your choice.
Now you can know why it makes you feel better, decide if you want to go that method, or if there's another method, maybe you prefer going that method. So with eating meat, you stimulate the whole time. The whole time you're stimulating your system, you're stimulating your adrenals. And meat in itself creates an acidic
it's acid in your system.
So now you're adding acid as well. So this addition makes that your water body, which is your lymph, it makes up 80% of the fluid in your body, which is where our crystals grow. That can contain the information.
Okay, carry on, but I'm going to go back to that.
We will get back to it. This is where it all boils down to. So when you acidify your water body, which is your waste system, this is where the acids will go sit. Your body would put it to the waste system.
Yes.
And that's your water body. Instead of now having a running and flowing, clear, plasmic water. You know when you have a fresh discharge, that watery plasma.
Cleaner.
That's what a healthy water system, water body should look like. By adding acids to it, it becomes thick and sticky and stick together like yellow, white, green snot.
Like if you're sick kind of thing.
Yeah, now you think that has developed here because I'm sick. You're so full of that, when you're sick, it's only coming out.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So systemic, you look like that. And this is now what your water body looks like. This in itself inflames everything that lives in it. So now the kidneys are inflamed, which in turn inflames the adrenals, which makes them over or underperform even more. Many of us have the overperformance, and now we've got more dopamine, more, you know, we're going.
Because now we drive, we're busy now,
We're doing it by kicking those adrenals. You know,
I didn't
this is
realize
how
that
we're
meat
getting
did. I
it.
didn't realize it did that to the system.
But yeah,
I didn't.
That's what a stimulant means. It stimulates something.
okay.
And in the case of meat, it stimulates the whole system with the adrenaline as well as the adrenals. So even the adrenals are stimulated, produce more dopamine. The same with caffeine, produce more dopamine, neurotransmitters.
I guess with me, like with caffeine, you can kind of feel it's giving you a buzz. With meat, you don't feel that.
You feel it differently,
it feels,
right?
but you don't see it as something that's, well, personally, as something that's kind of lifting the system in that sense.
But
it doesn't feel like
you
that.
did say earlier you felt you needed meat.
When I
because you
started exercising heavily.
And that's that
Yeah.
energy that's it.
Yeah,
It's not
is
the
that what it
coffee
is?
one, but
Yeah,
it's
okay.
that like you feel better when you eat
Yeah.
meat, you feel more charged.
But I felt like I craved it.
Yeah. Which is because,
And I hadn't had it for 5 years.
yeah. The body
Which I
knows
find
what it
kind
does
of weird.
to you, right?
It's the body that's talking to you.
The body knows what it does to you.
But I think maybe part of the problem is not that it's meat, for instance, not meat. It's just that the meat is not in its pure natural form, in the sense that it's full of the adrenaline, etc., and hormones, whatever that's being put in this stuff.
Any other option to go?
Yeah.
I don't know any other option. Yeah.
Look, if you eat meat while it's still warm, it's got energy in it. Now you're consuming energy.
No, but now you're going to go slugging it.
So now, if you eat it and it's been lying in the fridge, it doesn't have any energy in it. So now you're taking in meat, doesn't bring energy to your body except the stimulants it brings. It takes a lot of energy to digest it. You've got 4 organs that have to waste or spend energy that has to be replenished just to consume the meat, right? It doesn't bring energy in. What is energy? Energy is light, right? It doesn't bring any light into your body. Your body now has to use the structure that you gave it. Thank goodness it can. It has to use the structure, work really hard to break it out of the structure so that the liver can transmute the minerals and the amino acids into the light, into the sugar that your body needs to operate on. The sugar, the carbohydrates is the light. The plants have an aura. Dead meat doesn't have an aura. You know, it's not something, and I don't even have to use the word aura because that now people think it's all spiritual. It's scientific.
Yeah, but it's energy.
You can, Heleen photography is, you take the energetic load of any object, you can take a picture of it. So if you take the energetic load of an organic apple, it's got this bright light shining like from the center out of it, while a dead piece of meat has maybe 2 spots of light because it's still raw.
Yeah.
When you cook it, there's no light. So now you're not eating light. It's costing your body light.
Your body's working harder
yes.
to work it, yeah.
And your body now has to create, the liver has to create the sugar from the glucose from it. That is the light for your body. So you haven't taken in any light, but you produced your own light. Well, if you now eat raw foods, you bring in light, you know?
So you're tricking yourself into thinking you're getting light by stimulating you.
Yeah.
But it's not light.
Your body creates its own light. So it's costing your body every step of the way to create that light. You actually haven't brought any in.
Yeah.
So we're actually tapping our spiritual, emotional, and mental bodies to maintain our physical body instead of the other way around. We should use our physical body to support the others.
But Heleen, I wanted to ask you, what about cultures like, say, the Eskimos that just chow meat? That's all they eat. They don't have veggies as such. And they don't have
their life
fruits.
expectancy is about 70. It's not too bad.
But it's a different, obviously they're in a different climate and a different...
They don't have a choice.
And it's cold, etc. They don't really have a choice.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We didn't have a choice. Us whiteys,
Yeah.
when we went north, we mostly didn't have a choice. We thank goodness, we are so versatile. You know, but before the flood, before we lost our first range of forests, people grew to 900.
Isn't the Amazon a man-made food forest?
It is a man-made food.
Seriously?
They've
Yes.
proven it, yeah.
They've now lasered it. They can see the troughs that's grown, like, you know, the waterways have been built into it. So,
I didn't know that.
yeah, we lost our forests. We lost our forests years ago. And that has changed us a lot because we didn't have a choice. But because we changed, there wasn't this push to change back, you know. And we have lived like that. We are living like this. It's
We just
beautiful,
carry
you know,
on as it is.
there's nothing wrong or right. It's just where we are at.
But it's also like what you're doing is educating people. That's the bottom line.
For a different way.
Like
If it
what kind of drove you to stop eating meat and start turning, like going this route? What actually? I mean, there must have been a turning point. It doesn't just flip and
my children
out of its
was
own.
definitely a big aspect. When my first child was born, I had to I didn't have a reason to be careful with what I ate before, except putting on weight, and I wasn't too bothered with that. So I would pick up weight and drop weight, but other than that, it was all about the taste for me. I didn't bother about anything else. And then when my first child arrived, it started bothering me. It started, okay, wait, you know, now what, you know, and I had to start reading books and that. And then with my second pregnancy, I actually worked in a job that kept me busy for 2 hours a day, and I begged for more work for months. And then I said to them, okay, I'm going to go to the corner office. I'm going to be in the internet from 10 to 2. If you want to fire me, you must fire me. And that actually was my awakening, because I had a lot of time on the internet. And my first tunnel was Fukushima, and the amount of nuclear waste that's still pumped into our oceans. So I stopped eating fish long before meat was a problem for me, just because I realized the levels
chemicals,
of contamination
yeah,
that's in our fish, and the impossibility of not having it. You know, you can't say this pocket is clean. It's impossible with the years that has passed. And so that was my first kind of taking something out of my diet. And then it became a process. It was more an industrial awakening. You know, I woke up to the industry of meat and decided, although I'm O positive, and at the stage I believed heavily into the blood type diet.
I'm also O positive, yeah.
I decided even if
and that was a thing. It was eating eggs and stuff.
Yeah.
Was O.
But then I decided, even if I die, I won't touch meat. I can't be part of this industry. I didn't know anyone else who did alternative things than the mainstream things yet. So for me, it was just the world I know, I'm not touching this meat. And I did look like I was weaker, because I didn't know then that I was detoxing. So I started looking scrawny, and I wasn't, you know, I was detoxing proper, and everyone was warning me. I was like, I'm not eating meat. I can't be part of this. So that was kind of steps like that happened, you know. And in the meantime, with the children, cleaning up toxins, you know, in the house, started cutting out sugar after a while, you know. And every time you cut out something, the budget goes up, because now it's not white sugar, now it's honey or whatever, you know. So you kind of have to keep the balance going, the budget going, while you're making all these changes. And
it can be pricey. To be healthy can be a pricey,
especially if you're not into the fat size of it. You know, now it's all this processed food and so expensive, and that adds up before you actually drill through to the nature side and realize, oh wait, but I can grow my own herbs. I can actually have lettuce in 6 weeks. Then it becomes easy again, but you kind of have to go through the whole thing, right? So yeah, it was slow steps like that. And my second child got born, and he was sick. None of us were sick before, so we stepped away from mainstream medicine easily. But now he was sick, and I had to get help, you know. So then I got pulled into this naturopathic alternative, you know, way of going through things. And we were attacked on a farm, and I got injured on my back, and I didn't have a lot of finances for collagen and things to help me repair this cracked vertebra. And my vegan therapist said to me then, listen, I think you must just eat meat for a little while, since you don't have, you know, finances to do anything else.
Yeah.
So for that reason, we stepped kind of back into game and broths and that, you know, but it would be like every second or third week kind of thing. So it was a whole journey like that, in and
on
out,
and off,
in and
a little
out,
bit on
you
and
know.
off, yeah.
And my boy was getting better on the naturopathic guidance, you know, and lots of herbs and stuff came in, but he wasn't thriving. He was this little shadow of the boy I knew he could be, you know. So the one December they were with their dad, and I had the whole December, me and my laptop, you know. And before ChatGPT days, it's still like, you know, you go, you drill in.
You were searching.
And I came across Dr. Robert Morse, and now at that point in my life, I was already doing short detoxes, like liver flushes and lung detoxes and stuff. And I started facilitating it for small groups of friends and family. It became kind of a hobby sideline thing for me. And what I've learned from walking the path with different people, I came to conclusions that I couldn't find anyone speaking about or teaching about. I was like, yes, I'm either missing the plot here or, I need to find some resonance somewhere. And this was Dr. Morse for me.
Where is he from?
He's from America,
Okay.
Florida. He's been on this path for 50 to 70 years now. 50 years, he's 70 now. And his understanding of the body. This is now, when you start understanding the body, you start looking at the chemistry of food differently because you realize that chemistry interacts with this chemistry. So this is where the understanding of the working of the body, the water body, the purpose it fulfills, the waste system it is, how if this starts getting clogged up, it's the main source of disease. The moment you unplug this waste system and it leaves successfully again, all disease evaporates. So this resonates. So much of what I experienced also resonated with that. And then he went like, so if you want to heal your water body, you have to eat fruit only. Oh, I almost flipped. I could not believe what he was saying. I mean, I, at that stage, didn't touch fruit. It was sugar. It was cancerous. It was, no, I didn't. I would cheat with the banana every now and then, That was my relationship
because of
with
the
fruits.
stuff they're spraying on it, that kind of thing.
No, because of what they teach us about sugar, and there's so many people still on that boat where I was, where they teach you, it doesn't matter if it's fructose or sucrose or maltose or whatever, it's
body.
sugar. It's bad.
Because, sorry to interrupt you, I know a woman who went onto a fruit kind of a cleanse thing, and she ended up with diabetes. But this was a long time ago.
I would love to hear the case because
I don't know what
fruits.
she was trying, but she did it for maybe a week or two, and it kicked in diabetes for her.
See,
I'm bringing it up because it's something for people to be aware of,
Diabetes in 2 weeks. Though.
I don't know. Maybe she was maybe she had something else that was already happening. I don't know, but
so
this is something that
one side is I heal diabetes clients on fruits, diabetes 1 and 2. Diabetes 2 have more of a difficult time, but they get healed. The second thing is what we misunderstand about the art of healing is it doesn't look healthy while you're healing. So wherever you are at before you start healing, that's going to start manifesting first in your life. So many times people, for instance, had a lot of bronchitis in their life. The moment they go on fruits, 2 weeks in, now they've got bronchitis. No, it's the fruits. No, and they step away.
But meanwhile, your body's trying to readjust, basically.
It's not readjusting, it's letting go of the suppressed waste. Because before, when your body tried to detox the phlegm and the mucus that had to come out, you went to get something to suppress it back in. And it got dried out and put away back into the tissue. Now it's layer on layer on layer of that, which is why people end up dying of pneumonia, because it can't come out now. Even if you want it to come out, it can't come out. So now when you start hydrating your water body, which is the slime body, that's now become a slime body. If you start hydrating it, this slime wants to leave your body. Your body has been designed, the most perfect way for this slime to leave your body is through your kidneys and your urine. But if that plug is not working, it's not leaving through there. So in my case, my kidneys was not filtering when I started with fruits. And I could test it. You pee in a glass jar first thing in the morning. If you can't see mucus in your urine, if it looks like clear apple juice, there's no mucus in your urine. Your kidneys are not filtering.
Oh, you should have urine. You should have
mucus in your urine.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, there's a wide spectrum of, if you're dying on kidney failure, you'll also have lots of mucus in your urine.
Yeah.
But that's like your end days, right? So there is that element.
Yeah.
And there is the element of people that's got extreme infections will have their sediment infect growing. So that's why they will test your urine, they will send it away, they will grow things on it to see if it's actually a problem or not, if there's bacteria in it or not. So that's a different science.
Okay.
This one is you're urinating, you're checking your glass jar. It's either murky water that looks like murky juice, or it's got a cloud hanging in the middle, or it's got flukes of snot drifting around, whatever. There must be mucus in your urine. So for 4 months, I wasn't filtering through my kidneys. And for 4 months, I was coughing mucus, 1.5 cups a day at minimum.
Jeepers.
1.5 cups a day. I stopped my social things because I couldn't swallow it.
So it all started coming out.
And the moment my
side.
kidneys started filtering, the coughing stopped. You see? So your body will use whatever exit it can get, it's going to use,
But now, I know you talk about fruit. I'm just thinking back to that woman that with the diabetes. It also maybe depends on the type of fruit you're eating.
Not really,
Not,
eh?
or not
Look,
really.
yes,
I mean,
dates,
you get all these
bananas.
different fruits.
Dates and bananas. When someone with diabetes 2, which is adrenal-based diabetes, right? So this is when your adrenals are really weak and the body can't deal with excess sugar load. You should have only enough carbs, sugar, in your meal that allows digestion without excess, right? That must make sense. But because we're eating such complex carbohydrates, which is complex sugar structures, this is not just even white table sugar. That's not even only what I speak of. Starch is a complex carbohydrate. Any kind of chocolate bar, any kind of processed food is complex carbohydrates. So now, when you digest it, there will be excess sugar, and the adrenals deals with excess sugar. So if you have really weak adrenals, that metabolization of excess sugar is not taking place. This is diabetes 2. There's another element of diabetes 2 that needs to be considered, and this is when they start telling you are insulin resistant.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so this means you have sugar in your blood, too much sugar in your blood, but you also have enough insulin in your system. You should not have a problem, but you do have a problem of sugar, and now they call you insulin resistant. Now the reason that happens is because there's so much snot around the cells, the insulin and the sugar can't get to the cell. So the insulin and sugar stays in the system, in the flow, can't reach the cell. So it's basically an obesity illness, right? It's when you're overweight, that's when you start going into diabetes 2. So it's very easy to reverse. But when people like that come to me, I tell them, please don't touch bananas and dates for some time. And they can't have big portions of fruits either.
Is it because there's a kind of a high sugar content in the dates?
Yes, there's higher sugar than the others.
I mean, I love dates.
Yeah, no, same. We live on it.
Yeah.
But if you have a compromised sugar system, you can't now start there. And you can't do big fruit meals either. You have to do small snacking during the day. You can't overload your system because that's your problem. And as you continue doing this, the adrenals heal and you become better and better. And then you can incorporate the others again.
And you were talking about, and I know we spoke on the phone about the crystalline structure in the water system. Just explain that. Is that something that's scientific? Or I mean, you say crystalline. Crystalline always tells, I would think of something, when you think of crystal, or is it more just the design of the water? Or what do you on about there?
So I can't prove it scientifically yet. I've listened to a few people speaking into the lymph, and for me, knowing the lymph over the last few years, play with the microphone. I've made my own connections, and I've been jumping it past quite a few different, fellow practitioners and therapists, and everyone is finding a lot of resonance in it. The only place in our body that crystals can grow without harming us is in the water body. Crystals is when something is forming a crystalline form, right? So in the first place, water is crystalline, right? Especially water that has gone through a life of water. Moto, that the crystalline forms of water.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, so this is now, you need structured, you need live water. So now there's this whole fad of going into structured water, right?
Yeah.
You can all this magnetis and magnetics.
We know someone, that Fulvic chick that does it.
Yes, and it's valid, it's legit, that's why spring water, that it's got its own vortex and you catch, it's legit.
So they put it through a process like a machine, basically.
Yeah. This is what your heart does. So the lymphatic fluid in our body, which is our water body, which makes up 80% of the fluid in our body, is a plasmic water. Now, to go from H2O water to H3O plasmic water, it's a crystalline form of water. It's a more
because it's in our blood.
No,
or
our
not.
blood,
It's plasma,
our blood in the lymph.
Not.
Yeah, we've got blood plasma.
Yeah.
Which is also a crystallized form of the blood. Which is what the plasma is. But the blood and the lymph coexist. They They do mix at places, but they have their own valve systems.
Okay, so they kind of got its own
pathways.
little passages, etc.
Yeah. The lymph is just bigger versions of everything. You've got the lymph nodes as well. You've got valves, everything. It's 2 different systems. They run through the whole body. Interstitially, they intertwine. This is the liquid that the cells live within. And then they get pulled back into their valves, into their veins and and they go into their way again. So the only place crystals can form in our body without bringing damage is in our crystalline water. Anywhere else, it becomes a blockage or a resistance. Abrasive or whatever. So we speak in the spiritual world of we are becoming crystalline. We are creating.
It's become kind of
carbohydrate into a crystalline thing, right? So now this is where the connections come in. So if the only place in our body where crystals can grow without problem is in our water body, how important really is it to keep this water body healthy if we want to go through this transmutation that we're going through? Yeah. So now I'm looking at me, myself, my family. I've got about 12 fruitarians out there that taps in with me, that now have been walking the path with me for a while. So I get their testimonies and their stories and that. And then I introduce quite a lot of people on an annual basis, monthly basis. So
because people come and see you
online.
that are having
I do online detoxes. So we do consultations, iridology, and then we've got these different workshops running. So I mingle with a lot of people and a lot of people's stories, right? So now we have solar flashes like we had last week, Monday, Tuesday, right?
What, an actual solar flash or an idea?
No, right. Like there was huge solar
from like
flashes.
the stars.
Yeah,
not that kind of solar
Which
flash.
Which brings the aha
It could be a solar flash. I do know those things happen, but I don't know how they affect us, I'll be honest. I don't know.
So now this happens, and some people around me are suffering. They're down. They're like switched on people, conscious people, but they're down and out. This thing is taking them out. And us fruities are not. Yet we are sensitive. It's not like we're probably more sensitive, but we're not down and out. We feel the intensity. We are aware of it. It's not like we're immune to it. We feel that it's more intense. Life is more intense. We're processing more, but we're not down. So now my deduction is, if we have a healthy water body that grows healthy crystals, when we have this cosmic downloads, because that's what it is information coming into our system, excess information coming into our system on a light level. Now this enters your body, it's got a place to be stored in your crystals, and your body gets to metabolize it over time.
You're a battery.
Getting charged.
Yeah.
But like I'm busy drinking water here now, and I know I've been following a chick on Instagram called Veda Austin. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's from New Zealand, and then she takes water and she puts like a picture of a sunflower or something on it, and then it freezes, and then that comes across into the water. So it's about the consciousness of water, the clear,
and
you know, like
dream space, no?
she does some. I mean, she's frozen thousands of things. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And she's written a book and she's touring the world, etc. But even what she was saying is, just so often we just take water and we glug it down and we carry on. But if you just have a little bit more intention when you're drinking that water, a bit of gratitude, or for that water, that can change the structure of the water as it's coming into you.
If you want a breakthrough, if you're sitting in front of your computer and you can't get this budget thing sorted, whatever, you can literally take your water and say, can I please just get some support and knowledge, and can I get a breakthrough? You can program your water, and you can have a sip, conscious sip, and I tell you, it works.
That's something new. That's something different. I think we're only starting to discover how, because from my perspective, like life is unfolding through everything, through water, through food, through it's there's a sense of there's a oneness that goes through everything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't surprise me that there's intelligence in water.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we are water beings anyway. I think we're 80% water. Am I right?
Yeah, so that's something to that extent. Water.
That's a lot of water. We're 80% water. So we are water beings in actual fact. So the emotos and when you look at that kind of stuff, The fact that that's come out, it's to educate people of the importance of the water in our, I don't know, just society, I guess, in
So
life.
you can imagine if your water body is not a water body anymore.
It's a sludge body.
Can you imagine the impact that has?
Yeah.
You know, that's why they took out the lymphatic fluid out of mainstream medicine books in the 1930s. Yes, it is there, here and there. But if you look at the importance of what it should be, it is actually not even there.
Yeah.
Because the lymph basically drains the system, eh? I mean, that's what lymph drainage is. It's to clean to clear the system.
Element,
That's
yes,
one of
it's
it.
the
Eh?
waste system, it's the transport system for your immune responses.
Yeah.
So if you want now, sport people ask me, okay, so when we want to recover, how does this work now? Because they've been trained, you need protein to recover, right? So instead of focusing on protein to recover, because now you're actually telling yourself, my body is not going to be able to build enough protein, so let's give it extra protein to recover. Instead of thinking, you know what, if I can replenish the transport system of my body, it's going to take the waste, the lactic acids and everything I've built up with this session, it's going to take it away successfully. It's going to allow immune response to come to any potential injury that might have sneaked in, and it brings my nutrition without any problem to the cells. Now the cells can perform 100% and rebuild itself, because this is what we do, we build ourselves, we grow a new body constantly. You know, to feel we need to bring structure in to build the new body, which is like eating a house to build a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? So now the house first has to be broken down, and everyone knows if you have a chance to buy an empty piece of land versus a land that has got a structure on that you want to take down, you're going to go for the empty piece of land because that is just extra labor, extra work, extra everything.
More of a mission.
So this is exactly what happens in the body. We bring this structure in, this protein structures. This is now animal or plant, right? Plant protein, like our beans and our legumes and that, are very damaging in its own right. It's got a lot of sulfur in it. When Goodyear was designing the tire, he couldn't get it hard enough until he introduced sulfur. So I've got people coming to me, then the color around their pupil is like orange to dark brown orange, and that's sulfur. And basically, as they grow older, they lose weight. Doesn't matter what they do, they lose weight.
So what's happening in their systems?
They cannot absorb food through that sulfur. It's rock hard. Okay. So when they do go on the fruit thing, it takes longer for them to see results. When they get to 4 to 6 months, depending now on the individual, they start farting badly. And
so they're rotten.
Yeah.
They start farting it out.
Roughly.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Their
like
families,
some have
they
to,
have to go isolate.
One lady dropped a job. She's like, she can't go work like this. They won't give her off. She literally dropped the job to heal the sulfur.
But now, like, I don't know, fair enough, eating fruit, but so much fruit, if it's not organic, it's got tons of shit sprayed on it.
That's true.
What about that factor?
So this is
because not everyone can afford flipping organic fruits and veggies.
And even
I mean,
if you can,
it's flipping stupidly priced.
And
or
even
you got
if
to grow
you
your
can,
own. I don't know.
The variety is extremely limited.
So what do you do? Like,
this is why we're starting.
Inform us.
This is why we're starting the fruit movement.
What is the fruit movement?
The fruit movement, we want to start out with a few things, but one of the main things we're going to focus on is distributing good fruits. We might not be able to start with organic, but we'll start with high quality fruits and good ones and get that distributed better. You know, there's very cool local market initiatives that's done in pockets in South Africa, and we travel quite extensively, so we can copycat many of these things into wider areas. And then eventually have better access to better fruit.
Yeah.
That's the starting point.
Okay.
Secondly, we're connecting with anyone that owns land that can put a fruit tree to a fruit forest on there that's keen to be part of this, you know. And many have put up their hand already. We sign, contracts between the users and the land. Everyone is on its own merit.
So, but how does that? So say a farmer's got 10 hectares that's whatever, sleeping at his place, and he's like, okay, come, we'll start growing fruit trees. Well, what is the exchange there? I mean, are you just utilizing his property, or does he get something? Or I'm just asking.
It will be different in every case. The cases we're looking at now are people that has a big desire to be part of the solution, so they're kind of purposefully already on board. And that makes it easier to work. So on the one end, we're creating a volunteer army. We call them the tree shepherds. And this is people like me.
Tree shepherds.
That have upped
Quite
and
like
go.
it, the tree shepherds.
Yeah, that have upped and go a while back because we want to be part of a communal space on a land growing our stuff, and not all of us have the capital to go buy a place like that. So we've been on the mission since 2019, traveling between places that put themselves out like this, or friends that bought a place together that want to start. We get involved with things like that. So we've had quite a bit of school fees paid. We've had times when we would step into agreement with someone and make our decisions and withdraw our life from wherever we were involved to now do this, just to 2 months later be told, oh no, we changed our mind, sorry, and now we're hanging the air.
And
I
that
know of
must
so
happen.
many landowners that again brought people in to help them with their dream year, but now are stuck with these people that's not bringing their side, and is bringing damage to the property many times, So everyone has been burnt in this because we all have this knowing that this is where we need to kind of grow towards, and we keep on trying. So what we've come up with is to party our way through it.
And how do you do that? It sounds like fun.
So
Can we come party?
If we have a collection of private owners that say, yes, I'm in on this. Let's see how we play this out so that everyone win, yeah. And we've got a group of people say, yes, we're very keen to be part of this. And we train ourselves in conscious communication, in conflict resolution. That's the first step. This is where we start our training. So we all work through the kind of similar curriculum that we put together through our own skills or whatever. That's the first aim. Secondly, we start working with the owners of the land. We get the permaculture maps in place. We've got a work team that analyze the space. This is all still part of coming up with the agreement part, And as soon as we've got to move forward, okay, we're going to start a guild, we're going to start 3 guilds, we're going to start with trough work or whatever we decide is the next step for this property. This is now formed. Now we can create a gathering around this. Now we let the army know, the tree shepherds know, okay guys, our next seasonal gathering is there and there and there. You'll need either your own tents or not, or whatever the deal is around it. And we all pull in and we graft. So we bring the labor, we bring the workforce.
So you'd like spend a week there or whatever the case may be.
3 weeks maybe, whatever the case might be. In this process, we get to know each other. And that is the main thing that we want to get to. That's why we party through it. Instead of just working through it, let's party through it. Let's stay longer.
Let's make it a fun thing and a work thing.
Yes, and we focus on how to train ourselves to cooperate. Because we've been trained not to. Since little, competition was the name of the game.
Yeah.
So it's ingrained in us. Before 7.
No, it's sad actually. People don't work together. It's all about me and my own.
And we can't. We've
agenda.
tried. I mean, I had the desire to do it, and I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? I still am working with people, and some of them fail and others don't. The desire is there. It's still no way it's going to be successful, except if you actually do that daily. Or that moment, every moment of connection is so important.
And so what about getting some kind of financial backing in that? Is that possible?
Ideally
Is that
get
something?
There, definitely.
It should happen.
Yeah.
Like sponsorships,
we're not
for
going to
instance.
wait for it. I've done waiting as well. So definitely, if there's actually quite a few people that said, as soon as you formed enough, bring us something. So they're already there. But the way we are operating at the moment is we're not going to be dependent on anyone. So we set ourselves up in such a way that we've got our first mobile unit launched, and there will be more. And this mobile unit is a money-making unit. So we go to festivals with our lounge and our stalls and our products. That brings the money in. In my own
also
capacity,
raising funds, basically.
That's it, for this. In my own capacity as a detox specialist, if I get to speak to people, I've got clients. Because most people want solutions to their problems. So for me, being part of a mobile unit is going to make my business go bigger. And I invest everything into this for years now already. So it's not like... So and this is how people are stepping up, and we're financing ourselves through the process, but at the same time we're backed because we've got these property owners that said, you've got a place to come stay. They might not have a home for us, but we set up to stay in our tents and whatever, So whenever... We are not in motion making money. We've got properties that we can fall into and do the preparation work for whatever we're doing there. And at the same time, we're building up this army, right? And more people build relationship with the property owners, because ultimately we want to facilitate them to the process. Where we go like, okay, so who's moving in when? You know, who's building the first home? Who's now you have natural building workshops, and you know, your first home
In that
starts going
sense as
up.
well. So because I know obviously if you had, I know a lot of companies, you know, they need to have some kind of a social responsibility. I suppose that could happen eventually.
Yeah.
But you're not chasing that, because
Yeah.
you might be waiting another
Yeah,
10 years.
yeah.
But
That will
no,
come,
sorry,
you know.
I just want to ask you, Heleen. So say you grow all these forest trees, fruit forests, and I know you were talking about more KZN. Is it because of the climate?
No, all over.
All over the
Yeah,
place.
It's just starting
What,
there.
like, how does it get harvested? Does it get sold? Does it flipping? I mean, what happens there?
The whole process would
Yeah.
happen from planting to processing to
I mean,
storing.
it's quite a long thing. It's a
Yeah.
process, and
Yeah.
fruit trees take time to
Takes some
grow.
time to grow as well.
But,
So, you know, luckily
know.
you can start with the seasonal growers like your melons. That will be your staple. Because firstly, we want to feed ourselves. Everyone that steps up to this, we want to, instead of go to the shop, we want to receive a box every week. So it'll be easy to find a market for the fruits in the beginning.
Okay.
And it's going to happen slowly, Moss, as well.
Yeah.
You know, I myself built a whole network of fruit-wanting people. They desire fruit. So immediately that's a market already. So it's not like anything is going to hang in the air. There's already hungry mouths waiting for it, right? And the same process, just the other day I met a guy that builds machines that process food. And he's cool and he's on the same vibe. I mean, the
Yeah.
right people just literally arrive.
It slots in, because you're on the, you like, it's your purpose. You're like,
It's in the
you're in
flow.
your space. You're in your state.
And everyone else that's in the flow flows with you.
Yeah.
So the moment you're flowing, it just flows, and it just, the next thing happens, you know.
But that's the magic of it.
That's the magic of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, the biggest work I tell people to live this lifestyle is to keep on having faith in it. That's literally the hardest work.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you sometimes step out of the flow and then you can't
of course.
remember where
Can't
that
stay there all
was.
day long. Yeah.
So
Like,
you
what
kind
am
of
I
stop
actually
and
doing?
you go like, okay, wait, let's
why,
reverse.
Why am I doing this? I forgot. Just
And then
remind
when you
me.
start feeling the flow again, okay, what should I change? Where are we going? You know, it's like, and that
But it's a
takes
trust.
faith.
There's a trust in life. There's a
that
trust
takes
in the
faith.
flow of life.
Yeah.
That's what it really boils
That's
down
it.
to.
That's
Hey?
it. And if you can get that right, and you kind of stay in the flow, you know, and then you don't have to overthink things either. You have
because
this
thinking is
visions
the
of
problem.
things, and then the next two people walking in just like bring in so much to the table. You kind of veering 30% off this way now, because this is clearly where the flow is now going. You know, so it is very.
Yeah, and then you might meet someone who's got
palatable.
like other inspiring ideas.
That's it. You know?
And that happens, obviously. So, I see there's a product down here. You brought me something.
So I love
Some
this
kind
product.
of a herbs or something.
Yeah, I designed this specifically for my children when they decided to
Zoom
go
in.
on the fruits. When they decided to go on the fruits, and I just wanted to give them a nice tasting, all-round, easy digestible support for their system. So it tastes very nice. It actually makes your smoothie taste a little bit like cookies and cream. It's
Oh,
very
really?
nice.
Well, what's
You
in
can-
there?
It's all the herbs I've put together for electricity. So it's saw palmetto berry, licorice root, all your adrenal focus ones, chase tree berries for your pituitary. Then I got some nervous system, ginkgo biloba, gotu kola.
That's all superfood stuff going
All
on in there.
superfood stuff, but it's not building. You know, we've learned that superfood is all about bulking again, which is different. You get bulking. I have bulking herbs, herbal formulas.
When you mean
as well.
bulking for
Building.
just building muscle.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's what people are into, the protein, etc.
Superfood should really just be about the energy.
So you're talking about electricity.
Electricity.
Basically,
yes.
the energy of the system.
That's it.
Okay.
Because, you know, if I'm a soul, if I'm spirit that operates this vehicle, this biological entity, then my dashboard is chemistry and physics. You get your nervous system, which handles the physics side of things, the magnetism and electromagnetism. And then you get your endocrine glands producing the hormones, which is the chemistry of the body. So this is your dashboard. This is your buttons. So the cleaner and healthier those two systems are, and the water system that carries all of it, because water is also a conductor, right? So if your water system is not healthy, it also is not conducting the energy.
Water is not a conductor. Pure water is not a conductor.
It's not, but crystalline water.
Yeah,
is.
crystalline.
You see?
Yeah.
So that's why this doesn't mean much to us. It's a beautiful medicine, it's a beautiful cleanser, it's a beautiful solvent. It does not hydrate us at all.
What do you mean?
It washes us, doesn't hydrate us.
You see, I didn't do anything scientific at school, so I'm very stupid.
So H2O is a beautiful solvent. It washes, it cleans. It is your cell on a cellular level can't use it.
Yeah.
And if you want to
So
hydrate,
it's just for your system, like
your cell
washing
has to
through your
yes,
system.
Yes.
But it doesn't go cellular.
So if you want to hydrate your cell, you have to give it structured water, which is what you get in fruits. Fruits is the natural version of structured water, H3O2. So you can either take this water and structure it with electromagnetism or organisms or movement.
Okay.
Or that's what the heart does as well, right? It structures it. And that molecule, that hydration molecule, I don't even want to call it a water molecule because it kind of is not anymore. It's going to the way of H3O now. It's going to the way of plasma. Okay. That is what your cell can actually bring in as hydration. And now you are hydrated on a cellular level.
Because you can actually dehydrate if you drink too much water.
You can.
Yeah.
Hey?
Your body will fight it.
I wasn't aware of it.
You kind of not dehydrate, you just don't utilize the water, so you drown. You drown in the water, yeah. Your cells drown. Too much of your body drowns at the same time, yeah.
I remember, and I don't know if you're aware of this, there was a guy, and I think he was an Austrian guy who designed a whole water system back in the, I don't know, maybe 1800s. I'll have to check the facts. But the water system was designed to energize water. Our water systems don't energize water. But this guy had created a system that would actually energize the water. It flowed in its natural way of flowing.
If we can recreate nature, we've got it.
But now you're not going to go and redesign all these flipping water systems
if you understand the importance.
But could you imagine that happening in this place? I don't think so.
Well, if we are in control of it, it can.
Well, possibly.
Yeah.
Or we can do it for ourselves.
Of course.
Or we can do it for ourselves.
What else?
Yeah, there's no other way.
Yeah, what else? I mean, we've created a government
you got to do it for ourselves.
to work for us, and it became our jail. Why would we do that?
Yeah.
It's because we're lazy.
Yeah.
You know, we have to do the work.
They do. We sit back.
Yeah,
no, you're right.
We have to take accountability.
In South Africa, you got to take it by the horns. Yeah, you can't just flip and sit back.
And Eskom is now all happy because look, our grids are so much better. We can handle the power. In the meantime, the last 5 years, we've responded and equipped ourselves with our own systems.
Yeah,
and now Eskom can handle the rest. You know, they don't say a word about that.
Yeah, no, you don't hear anything about that.
And I love it though because it's pushing us in the right direction.
Yeah.
I love the country we are in. I love the circumstances that's happening to us because it's literally birthing us into the right direction. We are much better equipped than most other countries in the world because our systems are not working so well, you know? So
there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Is that what you're trying to say?
No,
is there a lot of light? Is it bright?
I wouldn't be anywhere else but Africa.
There's no tunnel. There's no tunnel.
Get rid of the tunnel.
The tunnel collapsed. There's just light.
You know what I want to touch on a little bit on energy is we've spoken now about how meat energizes you. Remember we spoke about that. So what is the other option of getting energized? If there's no options that you can choose between, what kind of... Oxygen does, definitely. Not just oxygen, actually breathing the air, which is oxygen and nitrogen and hydrogen and all of that.
Maybe a breathwork kind of a thing.
Definitely.
Exercise.
Definitely.
Energizes.
Definitely, but you will need to energize the energy.
To be able to get in there.
Expend it again, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't use meat, right, another way to do it is to bring in light that we spoke of earlier. That is your energy.
Like meditation.
Meditation brings in light. Your food is light or not.
Actual light, like sunlight?
Sunlight.
Sunlight
There's many
can-
people that
sunlight
do
can
sun
do it.
gazing
Sunlight
that
can do
don't
it.
eat.
Yeah.
They just do sun gazing. You will have to.
Vegetarians.
Yeah. There are people out there like that. You know, I follow quite a few of them.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah. That's how I got onto fruits. Actually, my journey came from there's people that can do that. How do you get there?
Yeah.
And some people started talking about taking steps there. So if you were to consume light on a daily basis through your food, you are now firstly hydrating and alkalizing, because the only food that brings light in is raw foods, right? The moment you cook it, there is some light, but it's much more inferior, right? And it's confused, it's muddled in a way, because your body has to do other things to get to it. Well, if you bring it in its pure form, it actually now is light coming into the body. You're hydrating and alkalizing your water system. So now the environment that your cell lives in becomes more alkaline and conducive for life, and it becomes, movable and life, right? The light you receive are now being received and being distributed to the right places. That light translates directly into ATP, which is our energy stored in the mitochondria. Now you're working on cellular-based dynamic energy. So now, if you are a fruitarian and you've built up your dynamic energy, now you don't spike your adrenals to have energy, and then the adrenals fall, you have to spike it again to have energy, and the adrenals, and you have to spike it again. You just eat your light food, and your adrenals heal. So it starts at the bottom, and it heals, and it comes to its perfect place. And it's now just giving you exactly the energy you want when you want it without spiking anything. You can run a marathon at a drop of a hat. You've got dynamic energy.
So you're saying it's more level,
Yeah, stable.
not so much up and down.
Stable, the cyclists and that gets on the fruit, they cannot believe their level of endurance that they can do. They how quickly they recover, because the transport system is working. It takes away the waste. It brings back the light. You're healing so much faster.
But what about from a perspective of, like, what are you snacking it the whole day? Because I find I get hungry. Fruit doesn't fill me. Are you snacking all day long?
So there's two reasons. The few reasons fruit won't fill certain people in the beginning. One is because your cells can't receive the fruits. So the more you hydrate and alkalize, the more cells will be able to receive the nutrients, the less hunger will be registered. Secondly, some people have quite congestion in their head, and the pituitary gland governs the signaling of hunger or not. So if the pituitary gland is under stress, that signaling might be completely out. And another one that can play a role is the thyroid again. If you have a lot of congestion here, and your thyroid is pushed into hyper, now your metabolism is so fast, it's just like constantly. So you can fall in any one of those profiles or have none of that. I didn't have any of that. I'm quite satiated on fruit. In the beginning I made myself big fruit salads because I'd have to replace a whole meal.
Yeah.
And I realized 3 weeks in I'm completely overeating myself, and I went down to now, average our family does fruit smoothie in the morning, probably about 2 bananas each, 1 other fruit each that's in the smoothie. Then we'll have a tea with a snack with nachos, maybe 2-3 nachos. For lunchtime, we'll make a lekker avo, pepper, tomato, gherkin kind of salad, sometimes microgreens and that in there. Dinner time, we'll either have another smoothie, or we'll have a tub of grapes that we just share among each other. Or, the kids like to bring in their sweet potatoes. I like bringing it in for them as well so they don't go that skinny. So they sometimes
Sweet
at night have
potatoes,
some...
raw?
No, they cook that.
Yeah, you gotta cook
They
it.
bring that in. It's tough to take children through the fruit protocol, especially my 2
I'm
boys.
sure that-
They
how
go
old are
quite
they?
Skinny, 14, 11, and 4.
Jeepers,
Yeah.
but you don't know what they're doing at their buddies' houses.
It's okay.
Trying
They're not
biltong
there too
and-
often. You don't know what I'm doing at my buddy's houses.
Biltong and flipping whatever else
fine.
comes.
That's fine. Every
It's
now
going to
and then.
happen. I
Yeah,
mean, let's be
no.
real.
And every now
as a
and
kid,
then,
you're going to want
it's
to
fine.
do other. No, it's okay. It's not going to. It's not the end of the world.
No,
No.
it's not.
Yeah.
The end of the world is the daily or frequent
Doing it
things.
all the time.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
meat, if you have
Yeah.
meat every now and then, it's not just not going to bring damage to your body, it's actually going to mean something to your body.
Yeah.
It's going to bring memories and stuff
That's true.
that you do need. It's going to bring things that's conducive
There's
and
some
good
value
to your body.
it. Yeah.
But I would say for me,
Yeah.
and that would be different for everyone, I would say every 3 or 4 months, there can be a space for a sacred share of a beautiful piece of, meat from a friend or whatever, And then I don't do it just because it's there. I've been thinking about it for a couple
You've
of days.
planned this thing.
I've been,
Yeah, this is something.
It's something coming, It's not
Yeah.
something I avert at all. Not once in this journey did I allow denial. I haven't felt denied anything. When I chose to let go of bread, I didn't go, I really want that piece. Oh my gosh, I can't have it.
No, you're suffering. Yeah.
My decision changed. My desires changed. Before, my desire was, I want to taste this piece of bread with butter on it. That was my desire. And while I had that desire, I had that piece of bread with butter on it. And then through my journey, my desire was, I don't want to feel crappy after I have this piece of bread. I actually choose the nice feeling. So because I choose this, I desire this. It's not something no, I want this. Now it's easy to go, so I'm not going to.
But also, like you're saying, if you want to have meat in 3 months' time, whatever the case is, you're not like holding yourself. So often, I guess, people are like, no, don't eat meat because of this and that. Animals, don't eat animals, don't wear leather, don't wear... That's extreme.
It's extreme, but it's truthful.
There's something true there, but it's extreme.
Move closer to there.
I just think you should do what feels honest from within. What is authentic for you? What's authentic?
Yeah.
Is authentic abusing just eating one thing, or like a certain level of balance?
Yeah.
Would be best.
Is the top of the pyramid. You can't. Nothing else holds water with authenticity. If you can deal with your own authenticity and be so authentic that the people around you either choose you or don't choose you.
Like you're authentic about what you're doing. You can see that you're not just an animal rights activist or whatever you want to call it. You're being from an authentic place of where you're coming from and what it's done for you. That's the most important part, I feel.
And for everyone, So it's absolutely, that is first prize.
Yeah.
And that is why it's a journey. Because one conversation makes you think about something differently. And that becomes a different little journey that you go off on, which for all you know, 2 years later brought you to the place where you now don't eat snakes or whatever.
Whatever the case is.
Yeah. So it's so a journey. And as long as you stay authentic and be informed so that you can start observing, I think that's the biggest thing, So what's nice, when I came across Dr. Morse and he said, eat fruits, I didn't believe him, although he resonates so much with me. I was so angry at him. I decided...
Why did you say that?
Yes, it can't be, I was like, you need your amino acids. It can't be. So I decided I'm going to prove him wrong. And I decided I'm going to show him now that he's ridiculous to do this, And I went on fruits. But because I've been walking a journey with detoxing, when I started detoxing, I recognized it. I was like, whoa. Actually, for the first time in my life, I'm actually now detoxing. For the first time, there's now mucus coming out.
Like real stuff happening.
Real stuff coming out. So that started swinging me a bit, Now I went to go research more and you read more. And then you read all the against things. I mean, the staggering information against fruits can't make you help to wonder why. Is
there so much?
So much.
Serious.
It's almost like they want people to be sick. Yeah.
Because if we find our superpower of being a natural man, natural woman, and finding our natural way of becoming that, we are unstoppable. The only thing that can take you out is murder. Because you won't be in accidents, you're too in tune. Yeah. There's some therapists, like cranial sacral therapists and that's part of my fruit-eating family now. The reason they didn't fall for the fear that all their doctor friends said to them, you're going to have diabetes. Doctor friends, naturopathic, beautiful, alternative doctor space. And everyone, you're going to give yourself diabetes, you're going to grow cancer. She was so scared, but the reason she kept on going with the fruits was her therapy became so in tune. She doesn't want to step away from this now, Yeah. So when you heal your water body, and this potentially still hasn't been proven, creates a stronger crystal body, and you have all these energies coming in, not just from your food, from everywhere, and this now goes through a strong, capable, tuned-in body. Can you now imagine the life you live, how much spirit actually comes through to do what you're here to do?
Yeah.
So if you really are in that place where you either have found your purpose or you're really searching for it, this is the next step. This is the next step, how to prepare your vessel to pull off what your purpose is in the most
And also, if you
fun way.
combine that with, a lot of people are turning inwards and working through their emotional body and fixing and healing, etc. And if you take that and combine it, I think it would be super powerful.
So powerful.
Yeah.
You can't go into this detoxing world of healing without healing your emotional.
Yeah, there's a crossover, because if your
Yeah.
emotions aren't healed, you're still going to be craving all the sweets and sugars and whatever
But
the
it
case may
works
be.
from both ways. So as you heal on a cellular level, that cell lets go of the energies. So you heal your emotional body by physically healing.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Now you can also
because the emotional body is kind of
stored
within
yes.
stored within your system. Yeah.
So you literally heal it from the physical side. You're healing it by releasing it, and then you can bring in tools to help you heal the emotional body even better. Your somatic tools, your whatever tools, your meditation, breathing,
allotropic
sports,
breath work, whatever the case is.
So doing it from both sides. This is now where you can bring in Bronwyn and the gut health. Right?
Yeah.
So now you're clapping it from both sides. You bring in the microbes and that works from the inside out. Because remember, this pipe inside our body is not inside our body, it's on the inside of our body.
That is true. You don't think of it like that.
Yes, so she serves it from the inside.
Yeah.
You look at the microbes and that, and then the lymph and that healing on the outside heals it from the outside, So bring in all the help, but in my world, if you don't do the water body healing, all the rest will just be plasters you put on, and that makes things better.
So that's one of the essential.
If you don't heal this container, the rest is all
process.
just, And, breathing, for instance, bring alkalinity and hydration into the body. Yes. You can fully experience the same healing that you can do on fruits, on breathing, but you can't eat other things then. It will need to be breathing by itself. So even meditation and energy healing can completely restore your water body. There's not only one method to restore your water body, but you're gonna have to restore your water body if you really.
So if someone was perhaps meditating on their water body and sending it light, for instance, that would also affect it, obviously.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
If it works, if their technology works, by doing the words and doing the action doesn't always equal.
There's no guarantee, but it should.
You should be able to get to the point where you get that. Others have done it, so it's not even that you're going to be the first one either. I like feasting on fruits though. Hey, it's nice, it's beautiful, it tastes nice.
When you said the fruit salads, do you still eat fruit salads, or do you prefer one fruit at a time?
Technically, the best way to do it is to monofruit eat. So now you have your 5 oranges, and then you have your 3 bananas later, then you have your punnet of berries or whatever.
But you say fruit, but you're also doing the veggies. But you're doing the veggies as well.
We're doing the veggies as treats. Now that it's winter, for now, June, July, we do probably once a day. Either soup or stir fry, so slightly cooked.
Yeah.
When I say soup, some of it would go raw, some of the ingredients would go raw into the warm soup even. It's like really kind of.
What temperatures are you going?
I don't measure them, but I keep them medium low. We don't go high heats. Blanche them. Completely crunchy. As little as possible cooked,
Okay.
And using the smoothie maker, for instance, if you parboil in a way butternut or pumpkin, and then you put it through the smoothie maker, you didn't even have to cook it much. It still gives you almost exactly the same effect, So we are there, and then when summer hits now from September, we'll be fully fruits again. And then when we say we're fully fruits, when birthday comes around, when there's special occasions, we would have a broccoli, cauliflower-based green curry with no starches, no protein. The rule of thumb, you eat the veggies that you could have had raw, but you cook them. So that cuts out your potatoes, your eggplant, the more complex stuff, And if you're in this space where you kind of do maximum 20% vegetables of your diet, you're still healing. You're on a trajectory of healing. You're not on a radical trajectory. The radicalness comes in with fruit only. That's where I can tell a cancer person, you can be healed in a few months if you push it. You know, that's radical.
Yeah, that's
healing,
radical.
yeah.
That's something
But
different.
if you bring the fruit, veggies in, so you're more in a raw vegan, like we mentioned earlier, then you're on a trajectory of healing.
Okay.
You know, slowly but surely you're going to get there.
Does fasting come into play?
Yes, yeah. When people come to me and say, I want to do a water fast, I would always try to convince them to do a fruit fast first, because we are so malnutrition on a cellular level. Okay. So water fasting is amazing. It's a beautiful tool. It takes us into the spiritual realm as well. There's no way you shouldn't not do it. But I wouldn't start the journey there, ideally. You know, many people do and they're fine. But ideally, I would say do 1 or 2 months of fruit only, and then you can go into water fast.
Well, how long would they go water fast for?
3, 7 days. Some of them go for the 30 days.
And they'd eat nothing, no food over 3 days.
I'm not a big fan of long-term fasts like that, like
because
extreme
I don't think
sport.
I've done it for like a day.
Yeah, I've done it for 7 days.
That's a long time still.
7 days.
Yeah, 7 days.
I
I
think
aimed
my
for
stomach
10, but
would
I got
start
my answer on
cramping.
7 days. Yo, hey, it's amazing, yeah. Dry fast is also quite a big element in healing your kidneys, because now remember, if you want to heal your water body, you soon realize, oh wait, one of the first problems I have is my kidneys are not filtering. How do I heal my kidneys to filter? You work on the water body. How do I heal my adrenals how do I heal them? You work on the water body. How do I heal my liver problem? You work on the water body. So it doesn't matter what problem you are, you start working on the water body to heal it. But now there's a double problem, because the water body can only leave the body, the waste can only leave the body successfully when the kidneys start filtering. So I have this thing that I say with my clients, until your kidneys filter, you're just stuffing around still.
But now you're talking about a dry
healing.
fast. What's a dry fast?
So the dry fast is what we do every now and then. Some people do it long term. I would not. There's some people's deaths that they actually said it could be because of that long term dry fast.
But they're not drinking liquids.
Nothing. But I wouldn't do it for longer than 36 hours. And that maybe must come with a bit of a warning, you know, because anything outside of that brings stress to the body. And a stressed body can't heal.
Why would be doing a dry fast? How would that assist you?
Because this allows the kidneys that regulates the water in your body to completely rest for a day.
Okay.
So even if you did 1 day, 24
Just
hours,
1 day,
that would...
So 36 hours works out. You go to bed at 8 cinema, at 8 at night. You get up the next day cinema at 8. You don't have anything till you go to bed at 8, and you get up the next morning at 8 and you have something. That's 36 hours. So it's kind of a day and a night.
It's an easy one because you're sleeping.
But also you wouldn't be, for instance, exercising and stuff. You would be...
Definitely not.
I mean, you'd have a
marathons
rustach day when you're chilling.
Yeah. Smoking doesn't work. I don't smoke so much anymore, now and then with friends. And one time I was on a dry fast, and without thinking, I just went, when it was given to me, oh my gosh, whoa, immediate end of the dry fast day. The dehydration is insane.
Is it?
And this is another interesting thing. When I do have meat, when I do have my 4 fingers of organic, droewors or whatever, the level of dehydration.
Is it obvious?
Insane.
It's obvious,
Your body needs to use all that water.
I tell you, it's like it's gone, and you can drink as much water as you want. It's not coming back, eh? So that's what I mentioned earlier as well. I mentioned how when you re-engage with the food, if you haven't had it for a long time, you now observe what your body actually goes through, dealing with it every time. It just doesn't deal with it that extremely because your nervous system gets used to it on a daily basis. Desensitize it. So, I mean, cheese was the most difficult to let go of. It was by far the most difficult to let go of. And when I have cheese now, it's abdominal pain.
It's difficult to digest. Gluten
as well, any processed grains, gluten specifically, wheat specifically, it's painful. Nuts is very much part of the fruit diet. If you maintain it, you have to you'll get in trouble if you don't have it. Not just for the fats, you can get the fats with the avos and stuff, but they've got a lot of concentrated phosphor, manganese, your more acidic minerals that you do need.
And do you take supplements?
Whole food supplement. This is a whole food supplementation.
But I mean like magnesium and stuff like that.
So the reason our body's main purpose is to stay into homeostasis. So this is the first priority. So for instance, maybe you're sitting here now, and we don't know this, but your liver is busy healing actually. Now you take a handful of isolated chemistry, your magnesium or your iron or whatever, isolated. It's not natural.
Yeah.
You take this, the body now immediately goes like, woo, 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 everyone, stop what you're doing, I need help for homeostasis. And whatever healing was happened, it's paused. And the body is focused on bringing your body back into homeostasis. So it's quite an intensive thing to do to the body, especially on a constant basis. So if you're in trouble, now you're sick, you need zinc. Have zinc, don't not have it, but it's a treatment, a short-term treatment. That's okay, you know. But this every day bringing in this isolated chemistry that now the makers of the chemistry is not even agreeing or doing it in the same way as you're having this brand and this brand.
And also, you don't know how it's been produced. You don't know what's better than. So sometimes it's a cheap product, and
all of that,
even the expensive ones aren't necessarily good for you.
Yeah, and all of that supplements comes from nature.
Yeah,
they just isolated it. So now instead of getting your iron and your magnesium supplement, go get a nettle tea. It's got both in it. But it's in homeostasis. It's in a plant that is in homeostasis. So you introduce something that's in homeostasis.
And you'll absorb into your system.
So your body just
body's happy.
through it.
Yeah. It's not a shock to the system.
This isn't normal.
It's going in naturally.
For the public. This is something that people need to be educated on.
Yeah, people don't know this. I mean, it's not like you get taught this at school, do you?
We should have. Should have. Human being one-on-one, 101. What is entailed to be a human body? What does it entail to have a human body? How does it work? I mean, we look better after our cars. We look
better after our cars.
We do. And it's shocking, It's kind of, for me, a big ruler to observe people's spiritual growth is their relationship with their body. We've got an older generation of spiritual warriors that laid our foundation for us, and I have the deepest respect for them. But they're very detached from their bodies. They're very detached from their bodies. Our parents' kind of generation. Yeah. Even the spiritual people, they kind of only lived there, and I think that was why they could do what they did. Their vision was there for us. And we are coming to this shadow work space, to this weight. There's some things in this body that also are important. That I believe our bodies is the key to the next dimension. If we really believe there's this next thing happening, you won't be able to experience that without a body.
Well, I think, like even Myron was talking about it's your chariot, not your temple, your chariot, because the chariot moves around. And I like that analogy. And I think, like for myself, I've been on a spiritual journey for very long. And it was more like out there, like you're saying, but now it's more grounded into my system. So it's like, I think you can actually come more from a grounded place. So your groundedness is in your heart center, and you're operating through this space, not so much out there in crown chakra flippin' city. You're coming out through the heart. And in that space, you're more grounded and you're more in the moment. And I think the combination of possibly that healthy system combined with the spirituality, there's a key there. There's something that can be unlocked.
Yeah.
Talking about the crystals, I think it might be the monks, but when they die, they find a crystal that's apparently from the heart. It gets developed over time from meditation and lifestyle. It's left over.
What, officially?
And there's a whole bowl full of that they collect these crystals
from out of their hearts.
From out of their hearts. I'll research it.
Is that a real thing,
That
Russell?
sounds
You didn't
awesome.
see that on flippin' TikTok now, eh?
We do get introduced to big ideas on those platforms.
You never know.
as well.
No, there could be.
It's all about our filter,
Yeah.
right? It's all about what we actually put attention on as it comes in. You can find it.
Maybe they focus on the heart for so many flippin' years, eventually something develops inside there. Who knows? Which is interesting.
And being a vortex creator, you can imagine all this water being structured in this creator. Of course, if there's a crystal to form anywhere, it would be there.
That kind of
That's
makes
the
sense.
birthing
Yeah,
place
that
of
would be
it.
interesting.
Yeah, That's
You never know. They
beautiful.
might start finding them, start cutting people's hearts open just to
On a
check.
necklace, yeah.
A heart necklace.
Earrings, bro.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But Heleen, you must send us if you got. Do you have a website or
got a website,
Instagram and a flip and what?
You have
Yeah.
a brand name there.
Yeah, Innate, Infinite Wellness. So Innate is a Greek word. It means from above. So it's
How do you spell it?
Innate, Anouthen.
Anuthen is Greek.
Yeah,
And what is it? From above.
from above. Yeah.
Okay, that's a nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice.
I like that.
Yeah,
It's a nice, nice name.
I want to change it to eternal wellness. Infinite, I've learned, is in a closed system. You know, you'll infinitely go nowhere. Well, eternal is actually who we are. We are eternal beings.
Okay.
So
Bigger
yeah,
than eternity.
that will come with a brand change. But yeah, the website is up. We do monthly detoxes, 28-day detoxes, 6-month detoxes. I'm putting a lot of momentum in the next 6-month detox starting September. See if we can get some people this summer to sort themselves out a level deeper.
Do you have internet people from overseas? That
Yes,
I
I
mean,
do.
now it's online. You can be
Yeah.
helping people wherever.
Yeah. The herbs from South Africa is not always everywhere accepted overseas, but the
some
UK
things they
is
can
fine,
get there,
the
I'm
UK
sure.
is fine, certain parts of Europe is fine.
What kind of herbs are not accepted?
Just from South Africa. We just don't have our with the European Union.
Oh, we're not
Just-
in the standards and all that
yeah.
nonsense.
So it'll take more of a
Okay.
rigmarole to get it there. But yeah, the facilitation part, the teaching part is all online, you know, and that runs, anyone can plug and play. And live facilitations as well. We're collaborating with quite a few therapists in the sense of tremor release exercises and somatic.
Tremor release. What is that?
Tremor release.
I don't know what that is.
TRE. Oh, that's such a lovely healing module that can also be abused. You know how animals, when they are hunted, they would run and the hunt will take place, and not even far from where the hunt took place, the herd will stop, and the lion will eat their friend there, and the herd will stop just there, and then they'll shake,
I've just got to show you.
and they'll just they just like shake the shock
What is
off.
the shake? Is
It shakes the nervous system shock off of having to have now fled for their lives, you know.
Okay.
So they get rid of that.
So do
shock.
humans do this as well?
We should,
Okay.
but we don't.
No.
Right. And actually, we do.
It's
If you really
to help
look at
release this,
children,
doesn't
if
get
they have big
stored.
shocks, they start doing it. But mommy gets so stressed about the kid shaking.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it, you know. So it's actually quite natural for us to do it, but we don't. So now we live in a society that's really bad for our nervous systems, and we keep on packing up this energy, you know, storing this energy. So now they help you to get yourself in a lying position with your legs sort of raised, and it starts shaking. And the more you kind of release into it, the more you shake. Sometimes you're out of breath because you're shaking. You're like, I have to focus to
Okay.
breathe, you know? Yes, and you feel so good afterwards. You release of so much pent-up energy. I want to bring it with a bit of a warning, though, which is, again, not very scientific. It's based on anecdotal evidence. I'm an iridologist, so I read the iris. And when we see a pupil that's bigger than it should be, we know this person is operating in parasympathetic. You know, you get the sympathetic and parasympathetic.
No.
So sympathetic is your fight. Parasympathetic is your, fight and flight. Parasympathetic is your rest. So you've got a central nervous system that is the hardware of your operation. Then you've got a autonomic nervous system, which is the hardware doesn't do the work, it's the structure. The automatic nervous system is the workers. They're the neurotransmitters. They operate on the structure, right? And this is based in, connected to your adrenals and your cerebellum, the behind part.
Yeah.
So, where am I going? We're talking about tremor release, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So when you're in fight and flight, your body receives, you had a shock, nervous system has a shock, and tell the body, I'm scared, fight or flight, and your body responds with chemistry. So now all your energy is going to your limbs, into your senses, and you're like alert and you're ready to run, right?
Yeah.
So it's taken away from digestion. It's all the main...
It's survival,
things.
yeah.
Yes, now the energy is taken away from there. Where when you're in parasympathetic, you're in a resting state. Now you're not afraid, you're fine. Your energy is now not put to the limbs, it's actually focused on digestion and the systems that's happening. functioning. This is parasympathetic. If you were to choose where you want to be in a balanced state, where you choose, now I'm rustig and you're in parasympathetic, and now I need to go pick up and do this, and now you regulate.
A bit of both,
Yes.
yeah.
So you're in a balanced state. Now some people get so hardened inside their body that even the nervous system gets hardened, and the neurotransmitters that's supposed to do the work is not able to do that, or either they're not enough, or they get there and it's all calcified, they can't actually do what they need to do. So now the nervous system is also getting run down by this clogged system, and then it goes into imbalance for whatever reason. Maybe the cerebellum goes in imbalance, giving the wrong signaling, or the adrenals can't produce enough of the hormone, and that brings whatever the imbalance is, there's now an imbalance. So now some people find themselves in permanent fight and flight, which is not good, because
It's
your
unhealthy.
digestion is
Super
not
stress,
happening. You can't rest.
super stress state.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some people are there.
Yeah.
Other people are stuck on the other side, which is the better place to be stuck in, but you're unresponsive.
Yeah.
And you're not making decisions, and you're always kind of
you're
being pulled
not
into-
living. You're not operating.
So
Yeah.
I found quite a few of my clients, healthy practitioners, I found them being stuck in the parasympathetic quite a lot. And I was like, what is this all about? And then I started seeing the thread. They all do tremor release very frequently. And too much.
How's that,
So
eh?
you can overdo it.
That's interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Like I say, not scientific.
So it's all about balance at the end of the day.
It's all about balance. It's all about homeostasis. And balance is not 50-50. This is the other mistake people make. It doesn't look like that. It
doesn't have to be that.
It could be 80-20,
Yeah.
it could be 10-90.
But there's a
it could
bit
be
of both that's
70-30.
thrown in.
There's a balance. There's
Yeah.
a homeostasis.
Yeah.
It's in balance with each other. You know?
That's so interesting. Heleen, you have brought a lot of knowledge to us. I'll have to watch that. I'll have to watch this episode a few times to just absorb and, and flip and go through it. It was actually very informative. It was incredible.
No, it's all other
Was there anything else you
paradigm.
wanted to mention?
Is anything
I
before
can
we?
talk forever.
What's the time?
Yeah, no,
But,
we can go into many other topics, but I think the main thing that I'd love
Yeah.
everyone to kind of take from this is, you know, that's just the intention for your water body, however that looks like. If fruit doesn't resonate with you, find something else that resonates with you. But start putting attention on your water body.
Becoming
start
aware.
acquaint with it,
Yeah.
and learn about it.
Yeah.
And then the first step, if you want to walk away with the first step from here, is combine your food better. So you don't have to cut out anything at this point. You just combine it better, which means you keep the carbs by themselves. Carbs include fruit, veg, sugar, starches, anything sugary, anything plant live, that's carbs. And then you've got proteins on the other side, which is your dormant plants, like your beans, your legumes, your seeds. Your seeds, your nuts, and your animal products are all proteins. So just have them separate. So many people have a most beautiful fruit smoothie with a handful of nuts.
Where do fats
Or yogurt.
Where do fats come into play there?
There is essential fats in fruits and vegetables. Actually, I believe we've got less than we would have had before in our life, you know, so there is a lacking of oil to a degree. So we focus a lot on the avo, coconut, our essential oils. Our herbs have their essential oils in it. Nuts have the fat as well, which is great, right? So, but now they have this smoothie, and then they add dairy or nuts. So
And it
all
throws it
these
out.
fruits are now not being
Yeah.
energized. You
Yeah.
lose it. You know, it becomes alcohol and complex sugar, which gives you the sugar problems. Well, if you just did that separately, now you have your smoothie at home and you take your nuts with you.
And
you
snack
have
your
it
nuts in an hour's
half an
time
hour,
or
half
whatever.
An hour later, yeah. Hours
And that's a
later.
small thing. And people think, I'm
Small.
being so healthy, I've got a smoothie, but you throw in all this extra stuff in and you're just not going to digest
That's
it properly.
That's it.
So you're not getting the benefit out
That's
of it.
you know.
Yeah.
And this way as well, you don't have to cut out things because people don't like denying themselves so
Yeah.
much, you know. And
I
then,
work so hard. I'm going to fucking eat that.
Yeah,
I deserve it.
yeah.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
people
know
are
that
stubborn,
too.
eh? They can be
Yeah.
stubborn.
No, I mean, I'm
know
as
it.
well. Food is a
Yeah.
big part of our emotional body.
It's a part of our thing. Comfort, dude.
Yeah, our culture as well.
Yeah.
You know, safety comes with that. You
I
know,
like to
so-
binge a nice fruit salad though.
yeah,
It's a cheat, huh?
yeah. oh, you can make the most nicest food if you really get into it. Eh?
Yeah.
Your sauces, your raw coconut sauces with your pestos and your curries.
You should
even.
write a flipping
We're
cookbook.
busy, don't
yeah.
worry. You get your meal plans when you join the detoxes.
Ah,
That's kind of
okay.
an informal cookbook. And the rest will follow.
Well, that makes
soon,
sense.
Soon.
Yeah. Thank you, Heleen.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.
Both of you. It's been
Cheers. Thank you so
wonderful.
much.
Yeah, on the water
Thank you for all
body.
the stuff you're doing in the water body. Cheers, Russ. To the water body.
To the water body.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much. It was hell of a flippin' informative.
Yeah.
Cheapers.
Oh man, thank you.
Yeah.
It's like I'm working
My
on
mom will enjoy this
simplifying.